All right, I think we can get started. My name's Nicole. I'm on the admissions team. Thanks again for joining. I'm excited to be here today with members and students from the Global Family Enterprise Program at Columbia Business School. We're really hoping to use this time to give everyone an overview of what we offer in this space and let you hear from some current students who are experiencing this all in real time. So I'm going to let them do most of the talking. I will turn it over to them for their introductions. If you have questions that come up throughout the webinar, please drop them in the Q&A box. And we'll have time at the end to do some Q&A with our participants. But Trisha, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, Nicole. I am actually going to turn it over to Professor Marchisio to introduce yourself first.
Thank you very much, and good morning, good evening, wherever you are, welcome, and thank you for being here with us. So I am Gaia Marchisio. I'm the faculty director and a lecturer in discipline, and the discipline being family enterprise. I'm originally from Italy, moved in the US in 2006. I was supposed to be fourth generation in our family business until a very interesting dinner conversation that turns out into divesting. And so the rest of my life has been devoted to wearing two hats, one as an academic, so doing research and teaching, and the other one as an advisor, helping families throughout different transition. I lived and work in 5 continents, so I love the cultural differences that this place brings and the diversity that allow everyone to learn more from each other. What I would say is that I have a huge passion and care about building relationship to support next generation becoming the best version of themselves.
Thank you, Gaia. My name is Trisha Phillip-Rao, and I'm the director of the Global Family Enterprise Program. I am the chief administrator of the program, and I provide support to students in addition to managing our marketing and communications. A little bit more about me. I joined CBS in 2016 and joined this program in 2021. And a little fun fact about me is that although I don't actually come from a family business, my graduate studies in English literature, I did my master's thesis on family systems and portrayal of disability in film. So it really feels like coming full circle, having joined this program. And now I will toss it over to Popo to introduce himself.
Yes, thank you, Trisha. Just a little bit about me. I'm a second-year J-term student, so I'm currently on my way out. I'm originally from Bangkok, Thailand, and prior to my MBA, I had a career in tech consulting, working as a UX UI designer. And my family business was is in food, IT, steel, real estate, and chemical trading. So really just a mumble jumble of things. And what my plan currently is to go back and join the family business post-MBA program. And what really drew me to CBS is that I wanted to come to MBA in order to pivot my career initially into a more managerial role in tech, as well as take classes from the family business program. And, what was really special about CBS was that it offered me both classes to pivot into the job role that I wanted to post school, as well as the family enterprise program, which we'll be talking more about for sure.
Great, thank you, Popo. Next we have Giacomo, who's also graduating terribly soon.
Yes, actually, Popo and I are classmates. We're both J-termers, and we've taken a lot of classes together. I am Italian-German. My family business is in mineral water back in Italy. However, my kind of path has been outside the family company. I decided to pursue a career in consulting and plan to do so also after the MBA. But what really drew me to come to Columbia was that I knew and know that I want to be entrepreneurial at some point in my career. And Columbia has invested significant amounts of resources to build out the entrepreneurship arm as well as the family business arm. And so I wanted to connect these two aspects, be entrepreneurial myself, but then connect it to my family business in some way. And so Colombia was, I mean, the perfect choice for me in that sense. And I guess the fun fact is that I'm a planner of the family. So, you know, it can be from holidays to really the dots on the I's on really little things. But I love to plan, to try to do so as far as possible.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much. And you'll hear more from our students a little later on after we give more of an overview of the Global Family Enterprise Program and all the resources that we provide for students at CBS. So I will turn it over to Professor Marquisio to start this overview.
Thank you. I want to really start by thanking you on this webinar for the time that you're giving to us. And time is something that we take so into consideration, your time. I think that nowadays, time is the most important and precious resource, is the things that we don't have. And so the fact that you choose us and devote 2 years of your life, it's something that we take incredibly serious about. And above all, with this focus on if you come from a family enterprise. So what you have on this slide, it's a little bit of a description of hopefully a life journey that is a happy and meaningful life journey. And that comes also from some of the most recent work that I've done with colleagues, where we have been learning more about what happened through ages and stages in the individual's life. And so what we know is that students typically join us at a very important time in their life. And this time of their life could be a time where you don't know what to do, or where you have a lot of clarity of what to do, whether it's going into or back into any of the operating business. So you may want to elevate the knowledge, understanding, legitimacy, and the MBA could be a great place for you. Could be a time where you need to take a break for whatever reason. And so you may want to reset and rethink about your life. Or it can be a longer separation, or you may just not know, and you understand that in your life, that's when you have to create a little bit more of space for you and what you want to do with your life. And here we are. And so we have the hope, and more than the hope, the ability to enter in your life and be with you. And so a little bit of this journey. And we also know by all the conversation that we have with the students, can you go with the next slide, please? Is that this journey for someone can be very clear. I know Giacomo is a planner and he may already know what's going to happen. For some other people, there is more uncertainty, some concerns, because what we know in family enterprises is that it's not just your time, is the family time, the business time, and so how to combine all those needs and characteristics. So why do we start from here? Because this is really much our starting point in thinking about why we're here. The program has been here for 10 years. I cannot take credit for the amazing work that has been done so far, but with Tricia, we take responsibility to keep elevating the game. And so next, the idea is that we have a whole number of activities and initiatives that we're going to explain more. But the core of all of that is that we are really here to help support and guidance you to the extent that you want and care about, to think about how to make the best decisions for the rest of your life. Understanding that these things comes as an evolution. And so it's important to set a step at the time. What you see here is that we have an amazing community of people that deeply care during the program. But what we really want to stress is, like, once you enter the family of CBS and the Global Family Enterprise Program, we really want to be partner to the extent that you need, whenever you need, but we are in for the long haul, as a family typically are. And so when we think about what we want to do, we actually think more about who we want to be and who we are. So the next one, please. We have been thinking a lot about this. So we spend a lot of time thinking about this is an extraordinary learning community. I really stress the extraordinary piece of that, because I have never seen a place where they put so much time thinking about how can we be better, how can we better serve our students and the community. And so that's pretty much the philosophy that we have embraced. And when we think about you, when we think about the next generation, we think about all of you. I tend to joke and say, we're not telling you when it comes to health, we're not telling you to take your vitamins, but we want to remind you the importance of taking care of yourself in the different dimension. We think about your relationship, and we want to help you think about your legacy. If you come from a family enterprise, often it's the legacy of someone else. And we tend to think that we need to finish the job of someone else. And what we want to help you through the time that you're here is to help you think about what is that makes your life a really meaningful one, in connection, because we are part of a bigger plan, in connection with the family enterprise that you come from. And so in the next page, I will share with you how we think about this different dimension. And so when we think about the health, we are not telling you how to live your life. That's very important, but it's for sure something that we want you to be mindful and thoughtful in terms of looking at the mirror and making sure that you take care of yourself. I often joke and say we always need a phone, but we need a phone as long as it's charged. And so being where you are in your life, there are a lot of requirements. And so making sure that you keep recharging and you keep thinking. And a lot of the community that is here, the time that you spend here is also meant to recharge you in the energy that you need to go through life. The next piece that we take care of is the piece about relationship. The first, the most important relationship is the one you have with yourself. We have, as Tricia will share with you in a few minutes, we help you through thinking about this through different activities, whether in the classroom or outside, more in a minute. But we want you to be mindful and thoughtful about your internal dialogue, the relationship with your family, the family of origin and the family of choice. We have tons of conversation about how the choices that you make with your spouses has an impact if you come from a family enterprise, and how to manage those conversations. And then the whole social aspect that comes from being friends. So Popo and Giacomo mentioned that the fact that they have shared the classes and they're building relationship. And that becomes a way to support each other. And then is to create more connection, more exposure to other relationships that can become helpful for the advancement of your career. Which brings to the next point, which we think a lot about your occupation. What does it mean? Often when we are in a family business, we think about what we can do to support the enterprise, which is great. And we want to give you the space, the time, and the experience to really think through, who are you? What are the gifts that you bring to the table? How can you advance in your career? How can you bring more expertise to the family enterprise, and helping you navigating those choices about when and how to go back, or when and how to stay out to advance and come back. So navigating those choices is super important. Then it comes to taking care of the wealth of the family. And so when we think about that, there might be different composition of the wealth of your own family. Some of you may come with operating businesses. So that requires a whole series of challenges and opportunities, and how to be able to deal with that. And we tackle that in class and outside. It's about thinking about your financial wealth. So different asset classes that you may have accumulated, or you intend to, as Giacomo mentioned, that I don't just want to give continuity, but I want to think about my own. And then there is the piece about how do we think about the philanthropic wealth, which is more the world of the giving, because we want to keep an eye on that one too, which leads to our last piece, that we are very conscious and we care a lot. What we call the commonwealth would be more in terms of being conscious about the fact that we are citizens of the world, that there is a calling for more than just our own responsibility in terms of businesses, and how can you think about what good can you do in your community, in your industry, and for the planet. Again, to the extent that people care about and is important, but keeping this in front of you is very important. So this is where we think we are different here at Columbia, because not only we have an amazing, talented community that can address that, but we really think about you as a whole person, and we embrace you wherever you come from, wherever you are, and you start, and we really want to be your journey partner on this amazing adventure.
So now I'm going to take a little bit of a deep dive from sort of how we think about students to our some more of our specific activities. So CBS is really proud to have a really structured program around family enterprise as compared to our peer schools. This includes the highest number of family enterprise electives, which cover all of the aspects of the wheel in the previous slide, in addition to other integrated activities to give a holistic experience to our students. Our electives, in case you're not aware of them already, include family business management, managing conflict in the family business, both of which are taught by Professor Marquisio, family enterprise and wealth, and finance in the family firm, which are both housed in our finance division. And finally, we have a global immersion class called Nordic Family Enterprise, which is capped off in the spring semester with a trip to Denmark and Sweden over spring break. In addition to our electives, we have built a class roadmap, which will help you find other electives to enlighten your path, whether you're seeking to join an operating business or manage family philanthropy and everything in between. Outside the classroom, we have a roster of key events and programs about which I'll give a little bit more detail. First, I'd like to focus on our annual conference, not just because it's coming up just a month from today and we're really, really excited about it. We produced this conference in partnership with the Family Business Club. And this year's theme is Crossroads and Choices, Navigating Next Generation Roles in Family Enterprise. And it's in direct response to student interest and concern in learning more about whether, when, and how to join family businesses. It will be held on Friday, March 22nd. And if you're in New York, we would be thrilled to have you join us. We have a QR code that you can scan and register later in this presentation. This year's speakers range from members of centennial families with extensive networks of shareholders to alumni who have faced some of the decisions you may be grappling with right now, to younger families who've adopted innovative approaches to vocational choices. Other programming we have includes our BBH Family Business Leadership Speaker Series, which brings family enterprise leaders to campus to share their stories and expertise with students and alumni. We also host what we call our monthly Up and Next sessions, like What's Up and Next, which are small group discussions about any topics of concern to our students. We created this sort of safe space as an additional resource to help students navigate their path, connect with other students, and just have a space to chat. Additionally, our mentoring initiative pairs students with alumni mentorships with alumni mentors for one-on-one partnerships to discuss and receive advice on family enterprise topics. As you'll notice, all of these programs take different approaches to the topics, from speaker-led events to small group discussions and one-on-one mentorship, to give you a range of different activities to choose from. And we are really proud to have built a community of students thanks to our close partnership with the Student-Led Family Business Club, about which we'll hear more in a moment. And after you graduate, the Family Enterprise Alumni Circle is really what we think of as a continuation of that club experience, thinking of it as a community you take with you. And additionally, and last but not least, we've built partnerships with other departments in the school, like the Career Management Center and the Office of Student Affairs, to provide other additional resources to our students, again, for that holistic approach. And, you know, all of this centers around the critical decisions that you're making, which impact everything in this circle. You'll notice you use a lot of circles. Your future, your family, your assets, and your impact. We keep all of this in mind with everything that we do. And we like to think that outside the classroom and our programming, we really do have a whole village supporting our efforts. Our small but mighty team is rounded out by our program manager, Svetlana McCarroll-Swan, who's in the behind the scenes today and always, and her invaluable talents really help us do all that we do. We're integrated with the faculty of Columbia Business School. We are supported by an advisory board of family enterprise principals, and our alumni circle is, like I said, a community you take with you long after you graduate. We know that your journey doesn't end with your MBA, and we really seek to continue to support you even after you graduate. And with that, I'll turn it back to Professor Marchisio for a little wrap up.
I think that the last thing that I really hope you can take away from this conversation is how much we care about you. And so we really care about where you are with your life. We care about where you are going with your life. We know that out of that, because there is a life after CBS. We like to think that it's all about the years here, but we really want you to understand how much it's important for us to become a place that once we get to know you, right, we can care even more about the specific about you. And so how we can help you support going back and continuing this journey and empower the rest of the family, because that's the whole idea of being in a family enterprise. It's about the I and the we, and that dance that keeps going. So speaking about the we, I am beyond happy to include in this conversation, beyond grateful. I have the opportunity to get to know Giacomo and Popo in this last month through class and outside class conversation. And I really appreciate your gentlemen's willingness to be here with us talking about your experience.
Yeah, so I'm currently the co-president of the Family Business Club, and just going to give you a quick overview of what the club does in conjunction to the Global Family Enterprise Program. So we actually work with the program to organize and also manage the speakers for the conference, especially in the inputting for the conference topics. So what we do is we give surveys to our members in order to gauge their interest and what they want to be spoken at the conference. And we also help collect data for the alumni mentorship pairing that the program does, creating a database of all our club members. On our club end, what we do is we also provide our members with company visits in order to educate them on various topics of their interest. So for example, last semester, we visited BlackRock and First Manhattan, their New York offices. And this coming semester, we're going to be visiting one of our members' family business, which is Pim Brands, a candy company out in New Jersey. And in addition to those, we also bring in guest speakers in order to provide more education for our members. We do social and mixers internally across other MBA programs as well. One of our most popular social events is called Dinner Pods, where we organize intimate settings for our members based on different themes. So for example, based on your industry, if you're in construction, you'd go to a dinner with other Family Business Club members within that, from that background, in order to get to know and talk in a more intimate setting, and based on those. And yeah, we offer our club signups both in the fall term and in the spring term, so twice a year. And if you want to learn more about our club, there's going to be another webinar up in March, specifically for the Family Business Club. In regards to my experience at CBS and the classes I've taken, I'm currently taking Family Business Management with Professor Marquisio and Family Enterprise and Wealth with Professor Angus. And both of these classes have been invaluable, and I can't wait to see what I'm going to be learning next throughout the semester. Yep. In terms of what being part of FBC and CBS does for me is that we have the largest family business club among all the other MBA programs with almost 250 members. So it's a great network in order to build connections and build long-term friendships. And we also have the program with the most classes dedicated to building skill sets. And for me, that was great because not only was I able to build my MBA skill sets to learn more about business and pivot into a more of like a managerial position post MBA, but also gain specific family business knowledge that is very difficult to gain elsewhere. And that's why CBS really aligned with my goals, and I decided to come here. Yeah. Yep, I think done. Yeah.
Thank you, Popo. All right, Giacomo, you're next.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Popo. So I wanted actually to start where I left off before, that I came to CBS to figure out what is next for me. I know that I'll be in consulting for the next couple of years, but at some point the question is, okay, there is this family business. What will I do? Will I be part of it? Will I decide not to be? And I think that it is a process. It is not necessarily something that through the MBA you come out and have a decision, but it gives you some, I guess, thinking points and different elements from different experiences through speakers that come to class or through the club, through other friends that are in similar situations, really through the community, on how to think about it. And for me, I think one of the elements that I recall amongst many others from one of Professor Marquisio's classes is that effectively, being part of a family business and a family enterprise often can be compared to kind of a train ride where there's a train that is moving and you are at the train station and get on the train and then are part of this journey, which has been established much before you or recently before you if it's your parents that built the company. But at some point you will be at the steering wheel and it'll be you to decide what the future of this legacy will be. And for me, it is about, entrepreneurship and diversifying into other industries and thinking about how we can build and bring our company to more countries. And so that is kind of the challenge that I'm thinking about. As Popo mentioned, I think that both the club as well as the classes really provide for a fantastic environment to get to know others that are really in the same position as you. It sometimes feels very lonely, I think, if you just think about yourself and your family business and you say, oh, I'm both blessed, but also have a lot to figure out, a lot of responsibilities potentially on my shoulders. And I think that this community and group of individuals allows you to, I guess, find a space in which people can resonate with what you're talking about. People can give advice because they might have been already through it or might be going through it, so might support you in this. And so that was really, and that's where really I think Columbia has been doing an exceptional job at supporting us, both through classes as well as through one-on-one counselings, which I think are incredibly on point because, of course, every family business situation, as well as your own, is so different. So the classes can address themes at a broad scale, but then it has to be you actively searching for interactions with other members, with the professors, with the executives and residents to figure out how to best take your next step. So that really just to share my thoughts on the classes, and of course you can see the electives that I've taken in that and how those have impacted my thinking with regards to this. I believe that the family business program is only at its start. It's growing more and more every single day. We can see more people being interested in family business as well as individuals that don't have family businesses. They are curious about the space and they want to work in family businesses. With my partner, and together with the Family Business Club, we have established recently a network across campuses for owners, operators, and enthusiasts of hundreds and hundreds of members across MBA programs. So even there, in a couple of days, there were hundreds of people signing up. So the interest is incredible. The network is really broad across different industries, across geographies. So I think it's a fantastic time to be privileged to be in the space and to choose Columbia for it.
Giacomo, can I point the stress on something you mentioned that we didn't, so thank you. This program is not just for those of you who come with a family business or a family enterprise. That's one of the most important things. Only 10% of the company in the world are public company. Everything else is private. So there are chances that you may end up consulting or advising or working for as a non-family as a non-family executive. And so understanding how family enterprise are deeply different is a great opportunity. And that's a huge piece of our mission, is to really embrace those of you who already have, those of you who don't and not planning to, but they may have an impact on other families' assets. And so that's a very important thing, that we're very inclusive of different roles and perspective. That's hugely important. So thank you, Giacomo.
Excellent. That was all from my side. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you. Thank you both. Thank you, everyone. So I think we're at our Q&A point, and I know that there are some. I think Nicole is going to help us with that.
Yes, bunch of questions in the chat. And I'm going to start with actually the first one that came through, because I think it's helpful and maybe a misconception to kind of just get out of the way and level set. And that's if the Global Family Enterprise Program is only available to J-term students, which I can quickly say, no, it's not. But if anyone else wants to elaborate on, you know, who you're seeing take part in the classes and in the program and in the resources, just to speak a little bit more on that.
Sure. I'm the last kid on the block, and I joke around that because I'm the last who joined, but so I have less experience of the long term in terms of how many. I may let Tricia speak more about the history, but for sure there is a huge amount of J-termers, but not only. So the program is really for everyone who comes through CBS, and I would also dare to say that it's not only for MBA students. We have some great input from other school within CBS, within Columbia, which creates even more diversity in perspective and interest. So again, inclusivity is a big piece for us.
Exactly. I mean, I can note that historically, the students that we've seen are almost a 50-50 split between fall term and J-term students. Maybe, I don't want to put them on the spot, but Popo could give the latest numbers, but I think I remember a 50-50 split, which just really shows that everyone's journey is very different. And whether you choose to come in the fall term or the J-term is unique to your experience.
Yes, Tricia, I think just to add on to that, currently right now, as of now, we have around 230 members this year, and around 50-50 split between fall termers and J-termers, and around 40% to 45% international, leaning towards that.
Thank you. And if anyone out there is in their early stages of researching MBA programs and determining if August or J-term is the right fit for you, please feel welcome to reach out to the admissions office. We're happy to have those conversations. But another question that has come through that I think is another kind of misconception that a lot of people have at this stage is if people need to apply to participate in the family business program once they are a student.
So let's say, as per now, no. We don't know what the future holds, but in any case, classes and electives will stay open to everyone. So we want to give access to everyone. And there is not really a sequence. Now, there is a few details. I don't want to overwhelm you at this stage of your life. All you need to know is that you have access to all the electives and more. So not to worry about that at all.
Thank you. So I know it was briefly mentioned, but I think some folks on the call are hoping to hear a little bit more about opportunities to travel internationally, perhaps visit family businesses abroad, whether it's through the club or through other kind of avenues. If either of our students have had experiences traveling, or if Trisha or Gaia want to kind of give an overview, would be great.
Besides the Nordic class, you mean, if there is a, so the most formal program that brings from the school perspective at this point is that class. I think that, as Giacomo mentioned, we are growing as we speak, right? So I think that we are cooking some great initiatives. So what we can speak into now is that for now, that one, Chazen has a whole series of other great, amazing programs and opportunities for traveling. And as Popo mentioned, it's up to the club every year to create even more opportunities. And some of these initiatives that are keep growing. So stay tuned.
I can share just on my side, I think two travels that come to mind. I think, Popo, you participated in one or both of them. Two classmates of ours that have family businesses invited us to their countries. And whilst we were there exploring their countries and getting to know their countries, one part was also getting to know their businesses to a certain extent. Do I recall correctly, Popo?
Yes,
it
that's
was
correct.
in El Salvador in Africa. So you can have everything on the geographical sphere.
Right, and those trips are both social, but getting to know your friend, and their business aspect is also as well, like the addition that you get from those trips.
And that shows, I think, an incredible amount of leadership and entrepreneurship, because I heard that in the past, there were trips of 200 people that they all went to someone's country. It's a great way to bring people to places you care about and to share experience. So that's another great thing of co-creating opportunities that is really important here.
And I think it also shows the community that the students build within themselves, that is such a wonderful thing about what we have here.
Thank you. And I know someone in the chat was asking about the difference between study tours and global immersion programs. I'm going to drop a link to our recorded events page in the chat. We hosted an event with Chazen back in the fall. I also encourage you to visit their website. They're kind of the center on campus that's overseeing all of those types of trips. But back to us in the Family Enterprise Program, I'd like to talk about the mentorship program and how maybe students find themselves getting matched with mentors. Is it geographic based? Is it based on industry? If you talk a little bit more about that.
Sure. Gaia, do you want to take that, or I can take it if you'd like?
You can start.
Sure. So you've caught us as we are in the middle of mentorship pairings right now, so it's very top of mind. Our mentorship pairings are based on an application that really asks students to think critically about the family enterprise issues that they are interested in discussing. This year, it's sort of centered a lot about whether to join the business, when to join the business, how to have conversations if you don't want to join the business. So it's been a lot about that. We do take industry and geography into consideration based on what you write in the application. So the more information you provide us, the more we can use that to pair you with our wonderful suite of mentors.
And if I can build on that, I was scrolling through several questions that, don't surprise me, have a common theme, which is, okay, what if we already know what we want to do? Does the program allows you to change your mind? Is the class the place that helps you make that decisions? So it's very clear at this point that people that comes into from family business, and by the way, no, you don't need to be on the paycheck of the family business. That was another question there. You absolutely don't need to be part of the and oh my gosh, the word here. You don't have to work for your family business to be able to join this. But the point is, the whole list of initiatives and program that we have shared with you all concur together with a lot of self-work and support on our hand to help you think through what are the steps and what are the things that you want to take. So when I talk to the students, I almost have this impression that you think that you enter the program with some hot questions for your life, and then something magic happened, and at the end of the 2 years, boom, you know what to do with your life. I think Giacomo said that beautifully, and Popo mentioned to that as well, that it's a process, it's a journey, it's something where for some of you there might be some experience that more immediately speak into, but what we are creating more and more is a structured process for you to be helped in thinking what are the things that you need to think about, what are the conversations that you need to have, and maybe you don't have the clarity right in May of your graduation year, but you're getting there because it's really an evolution and it's something that happens across time, and helping you digest that and helping your family processing and understanding that is a big, big part of what we're here for.
Thank you, Gaia. Giacomo and Popo, can you talk a little bit more about the conference? I know it's a major kind of event that the club hosts. So would love to just hear a little bit more about your experiences participating in it, maybe running it, and maybe a key takeaway.
Popo, please go ahead.
Yes. Oh, for sure. So in terms of the conference, as Tricia mentioned, this year's theme is going to be about crossroads and choices. And so we definitely try to focus on bringing speakers that are going to be talking about, if it's how to decide in the thought process of how to make your own choice, and how can you and we also have a panel regarding how can one contribute to your family enterprise in other ways without joining the business as well. And from my experience last year's theme was about governance, and I really thought that I was able to gain a lot of invaluable knowledge from those. And I think each year is going to be different, and it's going to be bringing knowledge to our students that are relevant to what our members want at the time. Yeah.
And I'd love to piggyback. Oh, Giacomo, go ahead.
No, please.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback off that for a second and just reinforce the fact that our annual conference is really a partnership between the program and the club. I like to think of it as responding to the needs and questions. What's really a hot topic for the club and students is what we want to hear about. So the students really drive the theme and some of the content, and we partner on bringing those speakers together because together our networks are even bigger to draw from. And we wouldn't want to just be talking at you, so it's really important to have that input from the club. And it's really exciting to hear to see how the themes have changed over the 3 years that I've been here.
And in that regard, I really want to say a special thank to Popo, because I think that everyone plays different roles. So you can take a role in the on the club, and you can do that with a passion that I've seen Popo doing in an amazing way. He is not only uber brilliant, but is also how much he cares to create that dialogue and connection. And this gives me the opportunity to say that each of you will have opportunity to develop more leadership and traits, and jumping on things as Popo has shared and I've witnessed is something very special. So just want to acknowledge that.
Yeah,
Thank you, Professor.
I 100% echo that. And I don't say that only because Popo and I are friends, but I can see the amount of work he puts in and really the amount of people he brings together. We recently also attended another conference on family businesses together, and you can see the community is not only at Columbia Business School, but it's across the US. And of course, Columbia Business School is interesting for also being in New York. And a lot of people are curious about what Columbia Business School is doing, what speakers they're bringing, what individuals are attracted to come to New York. And that's really the top tier family businesses.
Thank you, everyone. I'd like to end with one more question for everyone. I'd love to hear a response, but any advice you have for our prospective students on the line who are in the early stages of their MBA journey? Would love to hear from each of you.
Yeah, I mean, I can start. I think it's a question that I often get, and I dedicate a lot of time to speaking with prospective students. So please, you have my name, you know who to reach out to, because I remember your position. I was in the same place a couple of years ago, and you know, I'm happy to help any single one of you. I think the most important aspect is really just being reflective on where you currently are and where you want to go, and what you believe is currently missing as stepping stones to get where you want to go. It does not have to be a clear idea, as in, I want to be a CEO of XYZ company, I want to launch this and this product, but a direction of where you see yourself in the future and what areas you would like to contribute to, kind of what identity you would like to have in the future, who is you in the future. And as you describe who is you in the future, I think there you can work backwards and think about, okay, so who am I today? And how do I get to who am I in the future? And then I guess the building blocks to get there is how a program, a university, Columbia Business School can help you.
Yes, I think Giacomo said it beautifully, and I'm more than willing to make time to chat or talk with any of the prospective students as well. Over the past 2 weeks, I've had a Zoom call with one prospective students, had lunch with another one, and another coffee chat with one. So I'm more than happy to share my knowledge, to talk about the school and about the program if you want to learn more. Yeah.
You want to work in admissions?
No, I'm just paying it forward. I think that one of the great things that I've experienced with CBS students and the alums is how supportive the community is. And, you know, I was one of those students in your place who reached out to alumni and talked to current students as well. And it's all about paying it forward. And I think that we have a great culture here.
For sure.
Trisha, Gaia, any parting advice before we wrap up?
Parting advice. You know, prospective students ask me this all the time, and I'm like, if you're talking to me, you're doing the right thing. And yeah, talk to as many people as you can. My door is very open. I'd be happy to speak with any of you one-on-one. You know, we realize that if you're here in this room right now, you might be, if you're thinking of applying to business school, you're probably at some sort of inflection point in your journey. And we know that everyone's journey is very different. And even if you think you have the most complicated, unique story, we can help you, and we're really eager and looking forward to do that. And you know, we're here. We put together events for this. The student community is fantastic, and you know, this is a lifelong journey. This is a community that you will have for life.
My last point is take initiative, right? Because we are offering things, but the fact that something can actually change, it depends on you. And of course, I hope that everyone here will have the chance to choose us and us to choose you. But I also want to stress the point that part of the Global Family Enterprise Program is an outreach component. So the idea of a community is, in any case, available to you. So we remain available in any case. We are a presence in the space, and we want to be available and help to Popo's point, to pay forward, because this next generation is really where the future holds. And so we really deeply care about that. So good luck to everyone, and feel free to reach back. And the first appointment for all of you is March 22nd for the conference. And yes, Jorge, we will all be there, and hopefully we can meet you there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Trisha, Gaia, Giacomo, Popo. This was great. I learned a lot. Thank you everyone on the webinar for joining. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope to see you on another event soon. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Bye.